Turmeric and curcumin are not the same thing. Curcumin is one of the key health compounds found inside turmeric. It's believed to be more largely responsible for many of turmeric's health benefits. So if your goal is flavoring food, turmeric is what you want. But if your goal is getting meaningful amounts of the compound studied for a healthy inflammation response, joint comfort, and healthy aging support, then curcumin is typically what matters most. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the NatureCity Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Pradelli. If you haven't been here before, I'm also the CEO and co-founder of the company, having started NatureCity over 20 years ago with my wife, Beth, and since then, it's been our honor to serve over 500,000 Americans by offering them the best supplements we can make. You may know that turmeric has become one of the most popular supplements for joint health, for joint comfort, healthy aging, inflammation support, which is a supplement where we call a healthy inflammation response, and all for good reason. For thousands of years, turmeric has been known as one of nature's most valued health spices, and even better, modern science has shown that curcumin, the key nutritional compound in turmeric, may help support a healthy inflammation response, along with joint, cognitive, immune, mood, and cardiovascular health. But here's what most people don't realize. When it comes to turmeric and curcumin, the real challenge is not interest, and it's not even the science. The real challenge is absorption, because taking curcumin is one thing, getting your body to absorb and use it is another. So today, I want to clear up some of the confusion around turmeric and curcumin, explain why so many curcumin supplements underperform, and show you what to look for if you want a supplement that can deliver the results you actually are seeking. So let's start the first big point of confusion. Turmeric and curcumin are not the same thing. Turmeric is the yellow-orange spice powder that's used in cooking. It's what gives curry its color and much of its characteristic flavor. Curcumin is one of the key health compounds found inside turmeric. It's believed to be partially responsible, or largely responsible, I should say, for many of turmeric's health benefits. So if your goal is flavoring food, turmeric is what you want. But if your goal is getting meaningful amounts of the compound studied for a healthy inflammation response, joint comfort, and healthy aging support, then curcumin is typically what matters most. Now, here's the next challenge. Raw turmeric powder only contains about 2% to 5% curcumin. That means if you want to get a meaningful supplemental amount, say around 500 milligrams of curcumin, you'd have to consume roughly 8 grams of turmeric a day, which is not practical for most people. I don't think it's practical pretty much for anyone. That's why for supplementation, curcumin usually makes much more sense than turmeric powder. But that leads to the next issue. Once curcumin is isolated from turmeric, it becomes poorly absorbed into the bloodstream during digestion. And this is where many supplement companies leave consumers in the dark. They'll put a large amount of curcumin on the label, maybe 500 milligrams, maybe 1,000 milligrams, perhaps even more, and make it sound impressive. But if the absorption is poor, then more milligrams on the label do not necessarily mean more benefit in your body. That's one of the most important lessons in supplementation. What matters is not just what you swallow, it's what your body can absorb and use. Now, before we go further, here's another important point. Even if you choose a turmeric or curcumin supplement, you want to make sure it has human clinical research behind it. In other words, don't just look for the ingredient name on a label. Look for evidence that the specific extract has actually been studied in people and shown to support the benefit you care about. That's important because many generic turmeric extracts may look good on paper, but don't have meaningful human data on efficacy. So when evaluating a turmeric or curcumin supplement, I think there are 2 big questions consumers should ask. First, is it absorbed well? And second, does it have human clinical research showing efficacy? Those 2 questions can help you cut through a lot of the confusion. So if regular curcumin is poorly absorbed, how do companies try to improve it? One common method is combining curcumin with piperine, a black pepper extract. Piperine can improve curcumin absorption, and that's why it's used in many formulas. But there are some drawbacks to piperine, which is why I prefer curcumin ingredients that address bioavailability in a more targeted way. One of my favorites is BCM95, which is the curcumin extract we use in our True Curcumin supplement. What makes BCM95 different is that instead of relying on a foreign absorption enhancer, it essentially reunites curcumin with turmeric essential oils. No foreign substances are used. It's all from the turmeric plant. That combination can dramatically improve curcumin absorption and bioavailability. For example, when comparing absorption and sustained presence in the bloodstream, just 400 milligrams of BCM95 has been shown to be equivalent to about 2,500 milligrams of regular curcumin. That's a very meaningful difference. And there's another reason why I like this approach. The turmeric essential oils in BCM95 are known to act specifically to enhance curcumin absorption. That's different from certain non-turmeric bioenhancers, which may affect other substances too, and can raise more questions about drug interactions. So yes, absorption matters a lot. But as mentioned, absorption alone is not enough. You also want to know whether the ingredient has actually been shown in human clinical research to work for the intended purpose. And that's where I think many consumers get misled. They see turmeric extract on the label and assume all turmeric extracts are basically the same. They're not. For example, in True Curcumin, we use BCM95 because it is designed for enhanced absorption and has a strong research foundation. And in True Joint FLX, we use an ingredient called Tamiflex, a research combination of turmeric and tamarind seed because it's been shown to be very potent for joint health in 3 separate human clinical studies. That's the kind of scientific backing you want to see, because many generic turmeric extracts simply do not have the same level of evidence behind them. BCM95 is considered one of the most researched bioavailable curcumin ingredients in the world, with over 90 published independent research papers, along with an 18-year track record of trust and safety of use in 60 countries. And the benefits highlighted for BCM95 are broad and compelling. It helps support a healthy inflammation response and antioxidant function in the body, aiding joint and muscle health, while also supporting a more balanced mood, cognitive function, immune health, and healthy aging. So how should consumers think about all this when looking at a supplement label? That's the trick, right? Here's the simple takeaway. If you see a product that just says turmeric, that may be great for cooking, but not ideal if your goal is meaningful curcumin support. If you see a standard curcumin supplement with large milligram numbers, but no explanation of how absorption is improved, that's a red flag. And if you see turmeric or a curcumin ingredient with human clinical research for the benefit you care about, that's a much better sign that the company understands what really matters. Because again, this is not just about how much turmeric or curcumin is in the capsule. It's about how much your body can actually put to work and whether the exact ingredient has been shown to work in people. That's exactly why we use BCM95 in True Curcumin. It gives you the benefits of curcumin without requiring mega doses of raw turmeric or poorly absorbed regular curcumin. So to summarize, turmeric and curcumin are not the same thing. Curcumin is the key compound many people are usually seeking. Raw turmeric contains too little curcumin to be practical for most supplemental goals. Standard curcumin is poorly absorbed, so bioavailability matters. And just as important, the specific turmeric or curcumin ingredient should have published human research supporting its intended benefits. In other words, don't just buy based on a label claim or a big milligram number. Look for a form your body can absorb and one has actually been studied in people. If you want to learn more about True Curcumin or True Joint FLX, you can visit NatureCity.com. That's it for this episode. Thanks so much for listening. Please like it if you found it was helpful to you. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss future episodes of the NatureCity Podcast, or you can listen to us on your favorite streaming service on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This is Pradelli, and I'll see you next episode.